Well, it looks like we are getting Doctor Strange 3 and a Scarlet Witch solo movie. Two separate movies. Not another movie like Multiverse of Madness where they are combined into one. And of course, Doctor Strange 3 is going to play a very important role in the multiverse saga. And I have a theory about how the Scarlet Witch is really going to tie into Avengers Secret Wars and the next part of the MCU going into our new soft rebooted universe with the X-Men, Fantastic Four, and Avengers all in one. And according to these reports, the Scarlet Witch movie might not be coming exactly when you think it would be coming. However, it does fall in line with some other things that we've been hearing about some other legacy characters to the MCU. But there are two incredibly important roles that Doctor Strange and the Scarlet Witch are going to play in Avengers Doomsday and in Avengers Secret Wars. And it almost sounds like Doctor Strange's role is going to be pretty similar to his role in Avengers Infinity War. And there is a chance that he might die if they decide to go the comic accurate route. But I'll explain everything in this video, including the Doctor Strange 3 reports and the Scarlet Witch reports as well. Welcome to the Cosmic Wonder, everyone. If you want to stay up to date with the latest Marvel news, rumors, and leaks, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Now, first things first, most of you probably have heard about the person that snuck onto the set of Avengers Doomsday. If you didn't hear or see the video, it's pretty simple. A guy snuck on and he filmed himself pretty much sneaking onto the set, walking up to the set, jumping over the fence, getting himself some coffee, trying to blend in and act like he was one of the workers so he didn't get caught. He got some footage and then he left, and he quoted that Marvel needs to step up their security. Well, Marvel found him. He posted to his new Instagram account story stating, "Received my first formal threat. Might be cooked." And I mean, yeah, you sneak onto the set of Avengers Doomsday, which one is illegal, and then two, you post it online and say Marvel needs to step up their security. I mean, yeah, dude might be cooked. So just a little update there. Now, not too long ago, we reported that the leaker James Mackle, who was responsible for leaking the script for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness before the movie came out, but once the movie was released, it was confirmed that the information he leaked was true. He has talked about some other movies coming in Phase 6 that Marvel is going to announce at SDCC, and one of those that he mentioned was Doctor Strange 3. And since he mentioned that, he has come out and talked a little bit about what he knows about Doctor Strange 3 so far. Now, when he reported on Doctor Strange 3, he stated that the title was going to be In the Incursions of Insanity. Now, further commenting on that title, he states, "The title in Incursions of Insanity is provisional for the production of the film. Another name given to it is Time Runs Out. By July, we'll find out which one will be officially released." And when he says by July, he is talking about San Diego Comic-Con this year, where he states that Marvel Studios is going to reveal all of Phase 6, in which one of those projects he states is Doctor Strange 3. And of course, Marvel set up Doctor Strange 3 already with the post-credit scene for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. So we know that it was their plan to do a Doctor Strange 3 already. Now, the Time Runs Out story was something that other insiders like Alex Perez from thecosmiccircus.com have reported that this is a story that Marvel Studios is going to draw heavy inspiration from. And James Mackle reported on this stating, "The film will adapt the story Time Runs Out, where Doctor Strange realizes that his magic is not enough against the incursions. So he makes a pact with dark entities, exchanging parts of his soul for corrupted power. He helps Doom create Battleworld to save the multiverse." So a couple of things here. One, speaking to the part of corruption, it does seem like he had already kind of been corrupted just a little bit by getting that third eye. And if you're not familiar with the Time Runs Out story, it leads right into Secret Wars. It literally ends with Doctor Doom, Doctor Strange, and Molecule Man taking on the Beyonders. But what they were trying to do before was actually save the multiverse, and Time Runs Out refers to the end of the multiverse. Time has run out on their chance to save it because it's all going to be destroyed. Now, in another report by James Mackle, he stated, "Doctor Strange 3 will have two periods in the film. For you to understand, well, moments before the final incursion and on the battle world of God Doom." Now, we can assume that Doctor Strange 3 takes place after Avengers Doomsday. If they were filming a Doctor Strange 3 already, we would have heard about it. Now, there is a chance they could have filmed it in secret, but it's very unlikely due to the schedule of the actors who would be involved in Marvel Studios as well. So it's most likely coming after Doomsday, and it sounds like this film might kind of go back in time, because even though it should take place after Doomsday, it's going to show us what happened happens before Doomsday, or at least during Avengers Doomsday, because it sounds like we're kind of going to get a past, present, and future with Doctor Strange 3. What is most likely going to happen is we'll get Avengers Doomsday, and by the end of Doomsday, Doctor Doom will most likely win. And what will most likely happen is the destruction of the multiverse and the creation of Battleworld, where God Emperor Doom rules. And side note, based on everything that we've heard, I don't think Doom is going to take the power of the Beyonders, even though there is a chance that Marvel Studios could introduce them in Avengers Doomsday, sure. But based on what we've heard, it sounds more likely that he's going to take Loki's powers. Now, we know that Loki is kind of holding the multiverse together right now, and we don't really know what his new powers entail. Because remember, he went back in time in Loki season 2 and literally for centuries studied physics. Who knows what else he's learned, especially since he has been monitoring the entire multiverse. Who knows what type of powers he has at this point in time. But it does seem like everything leads to Loki, which would make the most sense. So if these reports are accurate, it looks like Doctor Strange 3 will show us what Doctor Strange was doing with Clea and possibly even with Doom to try to prevent the multiverse from being destroyed, because that is literally what Doctor Doom is doing in Time Runs Out. He is trying to prevent the multiverse from being destroyed. But ultimately, towards the end, they realize there's actually nothing that they can do to prevent it from being destroyed. It is going to end, so Doctor Doom decides to take the powers of the Beyonders by attacking them. He gets the powers for himself and saves one world. And Doctor Strange actually agrees with him that it's better to save at least one thing, one universe, one world, than nothing. Then to the second part of this report, showing what is happening on Battleworld. Once God Emperor Doom creates Battleworld in the comics, nobody remembers their previous lives. Battleworld is a universe created out of the remnants of a bunch of other universes. So these people had other universes before Battleworld, of course, but they don't remember what their life was like before Battleworld. To them, they have only ever known life on Battleworld that God Emperor Doom created. That is why he is actually a god to them, because he physically created their world that they live on. The only people who remember their lives before are Molecule Man and Doctor Strange, who has now become, on Battleworld, God Emperor Doom's right-hand man, Sheriff Strange. And there are other people in the life rafts who remember their lives before as well. But keep in mind, we've seen that leaked official concept art from Marvel Studios that showed Doom on a throne with Strange on his side. So they might be going a pretty comic accurate route there. But unfortunately in the comics, eventually people from the life rafts come out, and when Doctor Doom goes to kill them, Doctor Strange saves them, which in turn makes Doctor Doom kill him. Now, that might not happen in the MCU, but if Benedict Cumberbatch is done playing Doctor Strange after Secret Wars, then maybe that is kind of the out for him and his character. We'll have to wait and see. So it kind of sounds like that is how Doctor Strange 3 is going to be set up, but like I mentioned, we do have a report from Divinity Seeker, another insider, that Marvel Studios is going to have a Scarlet Witch solo movie coming out, and it's going to be coming out in 2028, according to this report. According to the report, May 2028, Scarlet Witch Kingdom of the Damned, directed by Jack Schaefer, who has signed an exclusive 3-year deal with Disney for at least 3 projects under their umbrella. Now, of course, like all leaks, we take this with a grain of salt, but I think that the Scarlet Witch's role in Avengers Secret Wars, maybe Doomsday if she appears, but definitely Secret Wars, is going to be really big. Specifically, I think that her powers are going to help awaken the memories of people who have forgotten their lives before Battleworld. Much like in the comics, I think there's going to be a group or several groups of people whose memories don't get wiped, like the people in the life rafts in the comics. And then I think these people are going to go to different parts of Battleworld and try to recruit people for their cause to go up against Doom. But the problem is, like I mentioned, they think Doom is their god because they don't remember anything before. That's where I believe the Scarlet Witch might come in. She could use her powers to help them remember and essentially awaken them. And essentially they will form the new Avengers team that way and all go up against Doom. And it is possible that she could do a spell that makes everybody remember. Then everybody goes up against against Doom, because that is kind of what happens in the comics. This will kind of be her redemption arc from Multiverse of Madness, her becoming a hero once again. And it sounds like, if this report is true, she'll be sticking around after Secret Wars for her own movie a year later in 2028. And this is not the first time that we've heard a report about kind of a legacy Avengers character sticking around for after the soft reboot. We've heard that Avengers Secret Wars won't be the end of Thor's story as well, telling us that Thor might survive that soft reboot too. I assume that if the actors want to keep going and their story works for them to survive the soft reboot, Marvel would be all for it, especially for big characters like Thor and the Scarlet Witch. So like I mentioned, we take all leaks with a grain of salt, but those are the reports for Doctor Strange 3 and a Scarlet Witch movie, and I do believe they'll both play a huge role in Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. But go ahead and let me know your thoughts about this in the comments down below. Please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and you can also catch us on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Snapchat. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.